Hey, what's going on? It's Pika out here in Singapore. Episode 151 of the Night Owl. And today, man, today was a heavy day. Today's Thursday. Okay, it was Thursday. The 21st of December. And I got to be off from work today. Obviously, I have split days off again, so I have to go into work tomorrow only to be off on Saturday. It's all good though. I'm just glad for it. Dropped baby girl off at school. She got up super early. I'm so proud of her. We got to school by like 8 o'clock, which means we left here at 7:30. So I mean, she's waking up on time and everything. It's just a matter of us getting out the door. So next week we're gonna push to be out the door by 7. See how that works because, damn it, the week after primary school. I think I'm more nervous than she is. Still got some stuff I need to pick up for her, but uh, we'll get there. We will get there. By hook or by crook, we will get there. Anyway, I mentioned today was a heavy day, right? Well, I went to register her for school back in July. There are phases. It's really complicated how to register people for primary school in Singapore. There's like balloting and there's like phases and like, whether you're a permanent resident or citizen and blah, 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 whatever it is. It's complicated. There's no good reason behind it. It's just freaking complicated. Anyway, got her registered, but because I'm a Singapore citizen, she's a US citizen, recently turned Singapore citizen, and I am divorced, where I left my husband on the other side of the earth when I came back over here. They had to give me some shit about it. So they went through the paperwork of the divorce itself, and they told me, hey, because it says you have physical custody and it doesn't say sole custody, we need a statement from him saying that it's okay to register her in school. And I'm thinking, are you serious? Damn it. Okay, fine. So I call him and he, whatever. He's hemming and hawing and he can't get it together. Finally, I signed like a waiver of any liability to the school in case he flies all the way over here to take her out of school. Yeah. So that was in July. Called him and tried to see if he could adjust it or give me some kind of paperwork saying that yes, I have sole custody. Come to find out, the divorce I thought was finalized was not finalized. It was never filed. So there goes that, illusion I had. And we had to go through the whole divorce process again. So got the divorce papers in my hands a couple days ago. Went and got that shit notarized and sent off, signed, sealed, delivered today. Out of my hands. And I made sure it will reach him before the end of the year. Because I don't want any 2017 problems in 2018. So that's handled, and it was truly emotional because I had to go through that whole nonsense again. I actually sat down and went through the old divorce with the new divorce to make sure all the terms and conditions are pretty much the same, and made sure I was cool with everything before I went off and signed it. So that's done. I'm done with that. What was the next thing I had to do? Oh, baby girl has a Christmas party tomorrow, so I got to make her favorite dish. It's really weird. They asked me to make food for one other child and bring it into school, and I'm thinking, I don't know how to make food for one person. I'm struggling to make food for 2 people at the moment. Instead, what I end up doing is food prepping for an entire week at one shot, and we eat the same shit every night until there's none left, because I don't know how to cook, little man. I'm serious. I cook in bulk. That's just the way it is. It's kind of depressing to cook for 2. Anyway, so I made spaghetti, her favorite. Spaghetti bolognese from scratch, but this time I didn't add any meat because, as you know, in Singapore, you have some people who don't eat beef, some people don't eat pork, etc., etc. So I made it vegan. With porcini mushrooms, which actually have a very meaty flavor to them. Oh my god, they taste so good. So anyway, so I made that, and it's all vegetables in there, and they better not have any problems with it. I'm playing. I hope they enjoy it. I know baby girl will. So I made enough to feed a small army. I just have to carry it all the way over there tomorrow, which would be interesting, I think. So that's done. And then, because it's a Christmas party, right, baby girl wanted her hair done. So I actually went and picked her up pretty early, and I got her hair done. It took a lot longer than I thought, and lucky for us, the party didn't start till 10 o'clock tomorrow. Excuse me. So I'm not going to push for her to wake up early. I'm just going to let her wake up. When she wakes up, we're going to get out the door by 8:30 at the latest, so I can drop her off by 9 and then head out to, I have to be at Eastgate tomorrow by 10 o'clock. So, yeah, that was the gist of my day today. But I got a lot done. I feel like I got tons done. By the time I dropped her off, right? I dropped her off and she was in school by 8. Got back home by 8:30. Like, seriously. I did laundry. I cleaned everything. I mean, I did good today. As much running around as I had to do and as much legal reading as I had to do, I hate that. I got a lot done and I feel pretty damn accomplished today. I feel really good. Tomorrow is going to be interesting as well because like I said, I need to be at Eastgate. I have to practice, you know, presenting the workshop based on some new slides that I got from my boss. My boss, who's a workaholic and happens to be on vacation at the moment, but is still editing slides and sending them to me. So I'm hoping at some point, Miss Sheila, I hope you're having some fun at some point and you're actually relaxing and getting some sleep somewhere along the way. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm excited about this. I'm excited about presenting the workshop, and then I have to go back over to Simlim after that. So, interesting day travel-wise. And then I'm off for 4 days. That's pretty damn incredible. I'm extremely excited about that. Tonight's episode, I want to talk to you about titles. I feel like us people, we get stuck in our titles. We get stuck in, oh, I'm a student, or I'm a mom, or I'm known for entertainment, or I'm known for cooking, and then you get stuck in that little, that pigeonhole basically, and when you want to do something more because you are more than just one thing, people kind of frown at you and like look at you funny and like, what the hell do you think you're doing? You can't do that. You only do this. So I think it's interesting how people are quick to pigeonhole other people, but don't like to be pigeonholed themselves. I think it's interesting that you get used to, doing one kind of... Okay, for me, for instance, right? I'm doing this podcast right now, right? So eventually, at some point, I'm sure it's going to evolve. It's going to morph into something else. It's going to, change titles possibly, or change logos possibly. It could become like a call-in show. It could be anything. But once it changes, I have a feeling that I'm going to get a little kickback from people that are used to having things done a certain way. Just like I do those gratitude live videos every morning, right? And I'm sure when I stopped for a couple of days that people were like, well, I guess she's done. It's just 30 days and she's not going to do anymore. Well, it's not like that. Sometimes I need to withdraw from social media. I need to I'm an ambivert. I love people. I love being around people. I love being the center of attention sometimes. I love entertaining people. I love having conversations. But as much as I love all of that, I also need the opposite to kind of recharge. I need the ocean. I need moonlight. I need middle of the night jam sessions where I'm just playing Sudoku and listening to music. I need, there are moments where I look back in my life and there have always been times where I was stressed out and I didn't know what else to do, so I would play solitaire on the computer while I sing at the top of my lungs to whatever music I happen to be listening to. So there are those times as well where I need to kind of withdraw from the spotlight or from other people and kind of recharge my batteries. So as much as I love to be who I am, and what you see of me depends on who you are to me and how much you've allowed me to be myself, when I change, it tends to offend people. When I switch it up, it tends to offend people or throw them off, and then they don't know how to take me. As much as I like to hide in the background at family events, I like to hang out with the maids, I like to serve people, I like to just observe from a corner somewhere. It's just who I am. Yes, I'll go around and I'll shake hands and say hi to everybody, but after that, once I've done the rounds, I will usually go stand by a wall somewhere, hold up the wall for a little bit and watch what everyone else is doing. But I don't know. I feel like people expect me to do more than that, and they get upset when I don't want to, when I am content to just be quiet. There have been times where in projects or whatever, I take the lead and I will organize everybody and make sure the project gets done. But there are some days where I just don't feel like doing that. I just want to sit back and see what y'all can accomplish by yourselves without me pushing you. and people get offended when I do that. I think in some of my relationships, okay, not some, the only two I've ever had, in the two relationships I've ever had, it seems like as much as I want to do for the other person, and I will bend over backwards, I will take over everything that I could possibly take over just so you can rest, relax, recuperate, and then the expectation is because I'm taking care of everything else, you have nothing but time to take care of me, right? But when I drop back and punt, suddenly y'all feel like thrown off your game. You feel like, well, what's going on? What happened? Why is she like this? What is she up to and stuff? And it just shows me that, most people don't really have a full understanding of who I am. Most people don't have a full understanding of who they are. They don't realize that, certain people bring out certain beasts in you. Certain people, rub you the wrong way, and then you come off as mean, where you're honestly not a mean person. There are some kids that I am very stern with because I know they need it, because I can't handle the crazy energy that they come with, and they've never been disciplined a day in their life, so they just run rampant around and don't know how to act, don't know how to talk, and I feel the need to put my foot down. So I'm not mean, I'm stern. I could be strict, but it's all with love. Everything's done with love. There are some people with whom I am very, very aloof. I don't like to get into conversations. Like, I think there is a stigma about women nowadays. Guys think that they can get on Instagram and DM you or comment whatever they feel like, and that you owe them a response somehow. And if you don't owe them a response, obviously you're trying not to respond, so you don't get caught up in their drama. You don't say anything that's unnecessary. You just kind of, stay in your own lane. But they get super upset about that stuff, and I don't understand why they feel the need to keep, instigating until they get blocked, basically. People have so many expectations, and I feel like that's like the number one reason for all the misery in the world. You expect so much, and I feel like it would be so much easier if you accept things as they come and, move forward from there. Obviously, I'm no different. I do expect things. I expect that my daughter, for instance, because I speak to her in a certain way, that she will also speak to me in a certain way. Obviously, she's still learning the ropes, and there's not enough family members around to reiterate what it is that I'm teaching her, but she does mouth off to me every now and again, and I have to, break break character from being the loving, friendly mom, the fun mom, to being the stern mom, and that kind of throws her off her game a little bit too. It's kind of scares her, and I don't mean to scare her. I'm not trying to scare her. I just need her to understand that there is a limit to how she can behave and how she can talk to people, so that going forward she won't get in trouble either. So that's just something that I've learned along the way as I move through life, basically. I am not one way or another. I am all of those ways. It just depends on who you are and how I feel about you, and how I react to you, how I treat you is a direct reflection of who you are to me. If I treat you like, how do I say this? If I treat you like you're an everyday run-of-the-mill kind of person, that means I'm not totally invested in you. That means, for me, right, I'm a very passionate person. I'm a very emotional person, as you very well know, that I get very invested in people, and I feel like I need to spend time, get to know you, ask a lot of questions, basically, so I understand who I am allowed to be around you. And most people don't realize that about me. I observe a lot. I will not take over the conversation and talk about me the whole time. I'd rather you talk about you, so then I can learn about you, and I can understand, exactly how much of me I can show you without being shut down, without being rejected, without being offensive or made fun of. I've been through all of those things. They're not fun, and so in that way I'm cautious. But in the same regard, I actually am interested. If I'm going to ask you about you, I'm actually interested. I really am interested. Interested to know how you are, who you are. Interested to know if there's anything that you might be able to teach me based on your, your experiences, your life situations and whatnot. So I feel like I encompass the full range of emotions. I encompass the full range of abilities. Um, it just depends on who you are to me, for you to see who I am, what I'm capable of. There are very few people who know me to be, um, Pika the philanthropist, Pika the friend, Pika the counselor, Pika the handyman, Pika the cook, Pika the mom. There are very few people who have seen all of those sides of me. If you've seen me with a hammer in my hand, chances are you've seen way more about me than most people have ever envisioned. Um, if you've seen me put together furniture, chances are you know way more about me than anyone will ever get a glimpse of. Honestly, like seriously, I love IKEA. I love putting together IKEA furniture, and I love um, I love designing rooms. I love to live in a room first and understand the space and how I would use the space before I go ahead and like fill it with furniture. And honestly, on that note, I am my father's daughter. I will pull out graph paper. I will draw out the layout of the room, and I will measure everything, and um, and yeah, plot it out. I will use graph paper, but then I'll use scaled cutouts of what the furniture would look like, so I can move it around the room along the grid paper or whatever, and see how it would work, how much clearance I would have on either side of a piece of furniture, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I actually really love doing that. Um, I like decorating, but I don't do it very often. I love to cook, as you know. I love to sew. I love to knit and crochet. I used to do that all the time. I had a friend of mine, Heather Hawkins, before she got married. Um, I was a dorm director in school after I graduated, and she was one of the ladies who lived in the dorm with me. And every so often, we would sit and we would watch a movie and knit. We would knit. I mean, like big ass blankets. um, it was pretty interesting, actually. But yeah, I am not one thing. I don't fit into a pigeonhole. Um, if it would make you more comfortable, I can, but that's not all of who I am. And it's become one of those things where I'm trying really hard to keep and nurture all those aspects of me, and then keep that adventurous side where I want to learn more things, do more things, so that I can grow and I can advance and stretch myself and be more than I am at the moment. So titles may be important to some people because it helps them feel important. But for me, nah, I don't want to be labeled. I don't want to be titled. I don't want to fit into one pigeonhole or another. I kind of want to fit in them all. I guess I'm selfish that way. I kind of do it all. If I have one life to live, right, why not try everything once? Carefully, within reason. Why not try everything once? I really want to create art and not draw. I'm not really good at drawing. I could trace. I'm good at tracing. I'm good at coloring. But I'm not good at drawing. And I guess I could teach myself how to draw. That might be one of those things that I try to do next year. But I want to make art, as in, like, I want a big ass piece of wood or a plank, like maybe one of those planks that they put underneath a mattress to keep the mattress straight or whatever. I want one of those, and then I've always wanted a jigsaw, and there was a Dremel trio that was out for a little bit. I think they discontinued it; they don't make it anymore. But I really wanted that, and obviously, I didn't get it together fast enough to be able to use it or buy it. Actually, I did buy it. It's in the U.S. I had to leave it behind, but I couldn't find one here. So I would love to make art, like not really installation art. I don't even know what you would call it, like wall art, I guess, with some lights, like a cutout and some lights. I think it would be really cool, really neat. Anyway, so like I said, I am not one thing. I don't know if you are one thing. I think I think 2018 is one of those years where you should just venture out a little bit more. Stretch yourself, do things you've never done before, enjoy who you are, where you are in your life, and just, do more. Be more than you are right now. Be more than you were in 2017. I want you to have so many stories. I want you to get to the end of your days and be surrounded by your grandkids and have them be like, yo, can you tell us that story when you blah, blah, blah. I don't know what it would be. But yeah, I want to fill my life with stories. I want to fill my life with experiences. Right now, for Christmas, the idea or the plan is, to wake up late, to have brunch. I'm not sure what I want to make for brunch yet, because it's just me and her. It's really, it's just me and her. So I figure we have a late brunch, we'll open presents, and then depending on how she feels, I want to go to the beach. I want to go to the beach. I want to go have fun. I want to go play for a little while and be out in the sunshine. I'm really hoping it's a sunny, happy day and no rain. So we'll see how it goes. We'll play by ear. And if it ends up raining or whatever, we'll find something else to do. I just want to go do something. I want to get in the habit of just, enjoying life, doing. We'll see. I hope this made sense. It was a little bit of a rant, but it's something that occurred to me that, we do pigeonhole ourselves a little bit. We allow ourselves to fit into one mold or another, and then we get so used to being that one person that at some point you wake up and you're like, shit, I hate this, I don't want to do it anymore. And when you change is when everyone else gets upset. So why not try a little bit of everything all the time? Why not, try really hard not to get stereotyped. Don't be, the person who is always around, is always, cooking dinner and doing homework and whatever it is. Like, do a little bit of other stuff in between. It's got to get monotonous. This is the reason for, 7-year itches and midlife crises and all that shit. So just go try new things. You never know what you like unless you try them. So, I mean, if you've never been skiing, how will you know if you like skiing or not? If you've never been scuba diving, how would you know? Like, all these things are amazing. The earth around us is so amazing. Why not be outside in nature and enjoy what the earth has to offer? It helps you ground yourself. It helps you ground your energy. It gives you something else to think about. You feel different when you've been outside. They used to say when we were kids, like, oh, let them go run around outside because the fresh air will do them some good and it'll wear them out a little bit. Yeah, man, for real. Like, it will wear you out a little bit. That breathing that fresh air and getting your lungs really, exercise your lungs a little bit, get your heart rate going a little bit, all that stuff is good for you. All this stale air inside the house and like AC that's like recycled air, right? It's not good for you. Go do something outside in fresh air. Man, I would love to go camping. I would love to go see the northern lights. Like, there's so many things I want to do. So little by little, we're going to get them crossed off the list for real. So it's going to start with travel next year. So right out the gate in January, I'm going to make sure that I go out and have some fun. All right, you guys, I better get some sleep. I got to think a little bit more about what to do for Christmas, but I'm hoping that you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I know it's Friday here for me, Friday morning, and I don't even know what time it is, but y'all are looking at Thursday night, right? So take care, be safe over the weekend, everything in moderation. Make sure you have somebody, looking out for you if you're out to party and everything this weekend, and in general, just have a great time, and I will catch you tomorrow, all right? Thanks again for listening. Bye.